What's up everybody, it's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video back in Planet Coaster. And to get things started off, I changed the color scheme finally on the dive coaster of the Raven, which is the official name of this ride now. And I go with this kind of like black and purple-ish feel to it, and I think it suits it quite well. It looks pretty nice. Then I continue to the train coloring as well, and just give kind of this black and a little bit of gray and white. I think I did. Yeah, and did I leave that red there? I think I did. No, I changed it to like a grayish color. That's right. And just fiddled with the colors. And in this episode, we're going to be kind of detailing this coaster just a little bit. And I wanted to start off creating like this little tunnel type thing, created with just the these walls here and a roof, something very simple and very small. It's not going to be something ridiculous, just something to go through when you hit the bottom of the hill. And I originally wanted to create a dive coaster that went underground with this one, but I just did not end up doing that with this, and just left it with this tunnel, and it works pretty neat and pretty nice. And what we're going to be doing here is adding a lot of trees and plants around the area and just making it look the way it's supposed to. And it creates a lot of character, it creates a lot to the ride when you add like plants and trees and stuff. It just makes the ride look that much better and more realistic, in my opinion. And I don't have any solution for creating or making these stairways much better than using rocks, because you can't raise the terrain to flatten completely perfectly with the elevated pathways, which is kind of a bummer to me. I wish you could raise the terrain to raise the terrain to completely match the elevation of the pathway perfectly. That way you can have the pathway elevated with the terrain perfectly, because it's hard to get that perfectly when you're just when you make the terrain first. And when you raise the terrain under a set of path, it just creates a big gap and you can't actually make it the way you want. So that's kind of a bummer, and I hope that gets changed maybe in the end. So just more trees and little doodads like that in this area. And I have to say, it makes the area look so much better, and it looks like a completely different area when you really look at it. And it is kind of a boring and tedious time to get all these trees in here, but it does look really nice in the end once you do get it finished. So I do always recommend placing lots of trees, unless of course the type of park you're going to do isn't meant to have a lot of trees. And my parks, I always like to keep as many trees as possible when building my rides. So from a realistic point of view, in a way. And that sometimes I've actually had like floating bushes on top of the track and stuff like that, because it automatically like snaps on top of things if there's an object there. And I think it's kind of silly that it does that with coasters, but hey, whatever. But if you use the shift tool and just move it up and down a little bit real quick, it actually will stay to that elevation the entire time. And if you just tap shift, it will snap to kind of whatever it's under in a way, which is kind of useful as well. So I usually keep that feature on and just kind of be careful and stuff. And of course you have to create a barrier between the pathway and the coaster, because you don't want the guests to be able to have access to the ride perimeter and get ran over by a coaster. That wouldn't be good. So there has to be a barrier between them and the coaster, so you have to create some fences. And this wooden fence is about all we have, and hopefully soon we'll have like a chain link fence eventually, which will be very nice to have. because if we have a chain link fence, then it's kind of more realistic to for your perimeter of your coasters, kind of. But for this park, we're just gonna have these types of fences and stuff like that. And I might even put like little signs that you can't hardly read, like maybe the Chief Beef sign, to kind of be a placeholder for the perimeter sign. You know, like crossing this barrier will result in a serious injury or death or something like that. And that'd be kind of cool if we had that sign itself in the game eventually in the future. That would be kind of cool. And I thought, why not at this part have kind of like this misty or smoky type area that it goes through effect with the VFX. So I created this little thing of rocks right under the track, and I'll probably grow it out later, which I think I do in a couple more episodes, which I can't remember if I do or not. But anyways, I wanted to keep the support, so I tried to work my way around that as best as possible. But I absolutely love these VFX, and I can't wait until we're going to be able to sync these up with the coaster itself. So when it goes by, you'll have these things going off. But for this instance, it's alright if it's running the entire time, because it's just kind of like mist and smoke. And I thought it would be kind of a cool effect for this part of the ride, and for the people observing the ride. It'd be kind of cool. I might actually end up putting some on the other side too, so it's kind of evened out. But I actually didn't do it here and at this point, so that kind of might be a future thing I do. But overall, this detailing of the ride actually turned out quite nice, I think, for the way I did want it to turn out. Anyways, so that is pretty nice. And I know this is probably a pretty boring episode, but it has to get done sometimes. But I'd like to know what you guys think in the comments. If I have an episode of just like trees and foliage, let me know if you guys would like me to kind of skip across those and stuff like that. There is gonna be another episode, probably I think it's like episode 25. There's a lot of cuts, because it's a lot of boring stuff that you guys probably won't want to watch, and it's kind of boring in the end. I believe I actually created another building here, and I caught myself from saying in the long run again, because I hadn't said it once this video. At least I don't think I have, but until just now, obviously. But I got a comment saying, you say in the long run way too often, and that's completely true. I'm trying to be as less annoying as possible when doing this. So this is me experimenting with the different tools that we have. And creating some unique walls and stuff like that. I was like, I haven't used the white wall paneled wall at all, but mostly because it's not in the theming. But I thought I'd try it out here with this building here, just to get something kind of different. And the sandstone bricks kind of look kind of awkward with it, but it's supposed to be a unique building, I guess. And I just need to get a lot more buildings and stuff in this area. And again, this is a very interesting building that's turning out to be kind of a weird building. And it'll be alright. I'm just experimentation. Sometimes when you experiment, it turns out to be kind of strange looking, but you might find something eventually that turns out to be really cool. Another thing I need to do is actually do a lot more lighting in the park, as I've seen it in the dark, and it's kind of a dark park. So we need to add a lot of lighting around the area. And this is strictly a stall, is all this is going to be, and its main purpose is to get guests to go around this area, pretty much. A little hat stall and adding some props around it. But it's like the smallest building ever, and I thought it was kind of a cute little stall to put in. And it looks pretty neat and nice, I thought so. And I thought, what better way than to place a lot of objects around here and scenery to make it spice it up a little bit, And it turns out looking kind of cool, I guess, with the one little stall there with the paneled walls and stuff, which was kind of a unique type of thing. And stuff like that. I do like the underground, or the tunnel over here with the terrain. I've been wanting to do that in a park, and I thought it would be kind of appropriate here, and I thought it fit in with the theme pretty well, you know, and with that underground part. It's not really underground, but I got a lot of ideas for my next parks, but my main focus is finishing this park at the moment. And as you can see, that empty area over there, and I do end up doing something in that area in the next, like, the next 3 episodes or something like that. And I was originally going to save it for a water ride, but a lot of people wanted to see another roller coaster, so I guess a 5th roller coaster will be making its way here. It's not going to be anything huge or exciting, just another coaster to have, and but you'll find that out later. So I tried to experiment here, creating this sort of post fence over here to keep away from the coaster perimeter over there, but it doesn't turn out the greatest in the world because obviously I was experimenting and didn't do this real well, but in the long run, it did end up working out. So sorry if I say that word just way too much. I know it's probably getting annoying at this point, but it's just what I say sometimes a lot. But this fence was getting very sketchy and kind of weird, but it's supposed to be it's supposed to look imperfect in the end, and that's kind of the purpose of this fence, I guess. But it actually turned out it worked in the end for the purpose it's supposed to do, and that's keep people out of this area. You know, and it gets the job done. And it's kind of weird because I think the elevation changed and it was kind of rotating it kind of weird. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me guys know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, even cooler tomorrow. Thank you, and goodbye.